This is not kind of the way I want to start 2023. After a ride with my mates yesterday on New Year's Day, my cold came back. And it's flipping frustrating considering I've got some big goals to aim for this year. So let's talk about those. I'll get back into the office and chat about what I'm aiming for this year and why, and maybe look back at some of the cool things I did last year as a way of motivation. Riley, back in the office now. As I was walking back to the house, I was thinking, what can I talk about? What are the things that I think are the biggest, sort of coolest things I've done on the bike last year? And look, I've ridden close to 12,389 miles if you look at my Strava strats, and a ridiculous amount of climbing, which is, I think it's just over 820,000 feet of climbing in the year, which is just mind-blowing. When I was walking back to the house, I was trying to think about things that have been a real highlight of riding the bike in 2022. And I think the first thing that I thought of was doing the 312 and the slightly shorter version, which was the 225, and deciding to do that but ride it harder was like, that was tough, but I really enjoyed it. And also then riding around the whole island of Mallorca, doing the 312, the original 312 as a solo effort. I was pretty chuffed with how that went. I rode it strong, kept my speed really tight. And that for me was, again, it's one of the reasons why I like riding my bike, is like to challenge myself over longer distances, to see what I'm capable of over time. And then, of course, the thing that really has been such a massive highlight of last year was doing the Tour de Mont Blanc, going to France, watching some of the Tour de France going through, but also then going to go and do the Tour de Mont Blanc Sportif, which was such an epic thing to have done. Like getting up early in the morning and riding all the way around Mont Blanc and just seeing it from all the different angles, going through different parts of Switzerland and France. Just an amazing event, and to do it with one of my great mates, Calvin, like that has really sort of inspired me to do more, which is why I'm going to be doing this thing in 2024, and I'll put a link to that to the bottom of this video. Right, enough about 2022, let's talk about 2023. Right, to start off with, I'm going to go to Gran Canaria in February because I'm taking one of the cyclists that I coach, and we're going to do a big volume hill climbing block because it suits the pair of us in what we're trying to achieve. He's focusing on the amateur version of the Giro, and I've got big things to do in 2024, as I've talked about. And then I'm off to Mallorca for 6 weeks. I've got a couple of training camps that I'm running. So I'm going to try and do as much volume out there as possible, and I'm also going to do the 312. Now I'm still undecided, and it depends on the total volume that I get over those 6 weeks, whether I do the 225 again and ride that hard, or whether I go longer and do the 312. After that point, when I come back in May, I'm going to take a bit of time off, and then I'm off to France with one of the cyclists that I coach, Charlie, and we're going to spend a week out in the Alps riding different climbs, but with a focus of trying to ride Alpe d'Huez as fast as we possibly can. Now we're both trying to aim for under 58 minutes. And then in July, myself, Andy and Liz, who's going to be my support crew in the 1996-2024 Tour de France challenge that I'm taking on in 2004, are gonna go and do Le Jog. So this is a little test about how we're gonna work well together. But really, it's really just to try and ride it as strong and as fast with their support and backup. I'm going to do it solo, and I'm going to try and ride that as strong and as fast as I can. And then after that, towards the end of the year, I'm going to go to Girona and go and see a mate in Barcelona and ride with him for a couple of days, maybe 3 or 4. And then I'm back out to Rocacorba for a week, maybe 2, just to enjoy the great riding it has to offer out there and just add more volume onto my riding, because the whole focus of this year is to just try and get a lot of volume riding intermixed with some really good quality and strength training, so I'm strong, durable, powerful, but have this massive aerobic engine that'll see me right in 2024. Righty, so that's it. Just a little video. I think I'm going to do more of these sort of like raw videos talking about what I'm doing, making them a bit more personal. If you've got any questions and you want to ask me about training or anything about what I'm doing and how I train for it and what my ethos is behind it, hey, look, just drop a comment in the comments box below. I'd be delighted to answer them. Right, thanks for watching. I'll be back next week.